No one noticed him when he walked into the restaurant, not really. He was dressed simply, sat quietly, and spoke in a soft voice no one seemed interested in hearing. To everyone else, he was just another foreign man at a corner table, alone, watching the room like he didn't quite belong. But inside him was a lifetime of silence, misunderstanding, and quiet pain. And on that ordinary evening, one small act of kindness was about to change everything. Before we begin, take a moment to support the channel. If stories like this move you, inspire you, or remind you of the good in people, please subscribe, like this video, and leave a comment below. Your support helps us share more stories that matter. This is Kindness Lights, and we're glad you're here. The restaurant was one of those upscale places in downtown Chicago. Soft lighting, white tablecloths, the kind of place where conversations were low and careful, and everyone seemed to know how to behave. The man sat alone, hands folded, eyes calm but distant. His name was Amir Hassan. To the world outside, he was a billionaire investor who owned hotels, tech companies, and entire city blocks. But no one in that restaurant knew that. And he didn't want them to. He had learned long ago that wealth often changed how people treated you. Either they feared you, admired you for the wrong reasons, or wanted something from you. Tonight, he just wanted to eat in peace. When the waitress approached his table, she smiled politely. Her name tag read Emily. "Good evening, sir," she said. "Can I start you with something to drink?" Amir looked up, hesitated, then replied in careful English, "Water is fine, thank you." His accent was thick, and Emily had to lean in slightly to understand him. She nodded, wrote it down, and walked away without another word. At the next table, two men in business suits glanced over at Amir. One of them whispered something, and they both smirked. "Probably doesn't even understand the menu," one of them muttered. Amir heard it. He always did. He lowered his eyes and said nothing. This wasn't new. In meetings, people talked over him. In public places, people assumed he was ignorant or unimportant because of how he spoke. Even after decades in the US, English still felt like borrowed clothing that never quite fit. When Emily returned, she began listing specials quickly. Amir tried to follow, but the words blurred together. He didn't want to interrupt. He didn't want to seem difficult. "I'm sorry," he said softly. "Can you repeat?" Her smile tightened just a little. "Sure," she said, slower this time but louder, as if volume could fix everything. A few nearby diners glanced over. Amir felt his face warm with embarrassment. "I will have chicken," he said, pointing at the menu. Emily nodded again. "Got it." As she turned to leave, something made her pause. She looked back at him, really looked this time, not just at his clothes or his accent, but at his eyes. They were tired, kind, lonely. On impulse, she said quietly, in perfect Arabic, "Take your time. There's no rush. You're welcome here." Amir froze. Slowly, he looked up at her, his eyes wide. For a moment, he thought he had imagined it. Then he answered, in Arabic, his voice trembling, You speak Arabic?" Emily smiled, this time warm and genuine. "Yes. My grandmother is Lebanese. She raised me. It's like a second first language." Something in Amir broke open. For the first time that night, he relaxed his shoulders, his face softened. The walls he carried everywhere lowered just a bit. I spoke quietly in Arabic, about the menu, about food, about nothing important at all. But to Amir, it meant everything. At the other tables, people stared. The two businessmen looked confused. The man they had dismissed as clueless was suddenly speaking fluently, confidently, with grace. Emily noticed the looks and felt a flicker of anger. She had seen this before. People judge too fast. She leaned in slightly and said, still in Arabic, "They don't know you. But I see you." Amir swallowed hard. No one had said that to him in years. Over the course of the meal, Emily checked on him often. Not because she had to, but because she wanted to. They talked about her grandmother's cooking, about Amir's childhood in Dubai, about what it feels like to live between cultures. "I am always translating myself," Amir said quietly. "My words, my tone, my existence." Emily nodded. "My grandma used to say language is the door to the heart. When someone doesn't speak it, they stand outside." When Amir finished eating, he asked for the check. Emily brought it over, placed it gently on the table, and wished him a good evening in Arabic. Amir looked at the bill, then at her. "Thank you," he said, "for more than the food." She smiled. "You're welcome." After he left, Emily went back to her shift, thinking it was just a nice moment in a long workday. But the next morning, the restaurant manager called her into the office. She panicked, wondering if she'd done something wrong. Instead, the manager looked stunned. "The man from last night," he said. "Amir Hassan?" Emily nodded. "Yes. He bought the building," the manager said, "this morning, and he left a note." He handed her a piece of paper. It read, Kindness should never go unnoticed. Please promote Emily to floor manager, increase her pay, and create a language training program for staff. Everyone deserves to be understood. Emily's eyes filled with tears. Weeks later, Amir returned to the restaurant. This time he wasn't alone. He sat openly, confidently. People recognized him now. Some whispered, some stared, but he didn't care. Emily approached the table, now wearing a different uniform. She smiled. "Welcome back," she said, in any language. Amir replied with a gentle laugh. "It is good to be seen." Kindness doesn't always look big or dramatic. Sometimes it's just a few words spoken with care. A moment of understanding, a choice to see someone instead of judging them, and sometimes that kindness changes a life. If this story moved you, take it with you. Look for the quiet person. Listen a little longer. Speak with kindness even when it's easier not to, because you never know who's been waiting to be understood. Openly, confidently, people recognized him now. Some whispered, some stared, but he didn't care. Emily approached the table, now wearing a different uniform. She smiled. "Welcome back," she said, in any language. Amir replied with a gentle laugh. "It is good to be seen." Kindness doesn't always look big or dramatic. Sometimes it's just a few words spoken with care. A moment of understanding, a choice to see someone instead of judging them, and sometimes that kindness changes a life. If this story moved you, take it with you. Look for the quiet person. Listen a little longer. Speak